Hey YouTube, this is Valerie with Money Mindset Coach. I just wanted to talk to you today about I have a lot of finance books on my shelf, but I also have a lot of decluttering, cleaning, staging books. I don't have a lot of fiction or anything. I have a lot of just how-to books. That's kind of my thing. And today I wanted to talk to you about some of the books that I have and basically what I have taken away from each one and what I use on a everyday basis, every week basis. The first book is called Clutter Control. I've had this book for, I don't know, over 20 years. I've had this book a long time, and it's a small book, and I love this book, but the number one thing that I came away from that became a habit, because some of this stuff you're gonna read it, and some of it you're gonna take to heart and you're gonna do, and then there's other things you're not, and it just doesn't apply or whatever. You just didn't like it. But the one thing that came from the book Clutter Control is how it's two guys, I think, that wrote this book. But basically, you decide how many of anything is enough. And really, in life, if you want to be a minimalist and declutter, you have to decide how much of anything is enough. How many glasses do you need? How many dishes do you need? How many of anything? And the rule in this book was that if you have a certain number, you come up with a number of everything that you have, of how many that is. You go buy another one, you have to get rid of one. And my weakness for many years, it's not so much now, but for many years was purses. And my ex-husband, my husband at the time, he said to me, he said, how many black purses do you need? You know? And he was kind of right. But to me at that time, I was like, there's no number. I could have 100 black purses. That seemed to be my thing. But I just love purses in general. And I would find one that I really liked the size of it and the organization of it, and it was black. Yeah, I already had black purses, but I bought it. And I just had more black purses than I had anything. And so he was kind of like, well, how many black purses do you need? So with this rule, you basically have to decide, this is the number of purses I'm going to have. This is right for me. And then you really think twice when you go to buy another purse, because you know that all of these purses that you have, one of them's going to have to go. Now, sometimes that can help you weed them down. That can help you be a little bit more minimalist, because you're looking and you're like, you know what? I haven't used that purse in a long time. I can get rid of that one. I am a person who truly believes in using everything. I wear all of my clothes. I use all of my purses. Shoes, not so much, because my feet really bother me sometimes, and some shoes I just can't wear. But I tend to want to use a lot of my shoes too. And I'm just a person who uses everything. And if I'm not using it, I get rid of it. So, number one book, Clutter Control. The other one, gosh, I can't remember the name of this book, but I was looking at it the other day. My sister actually got me this. And the one thing that I came away with that book that I do, and it really made a lot of sense to me, was the sheets. You know how you can have a linen closet and you can have all your sheets in there. And it's like, but those really aren't where you use your sheets. In this book, they suggested have the sheets in the bedroom where you will be replacing the sheets. They're right there. You don't have to go to the linen closet to get them. They're right there in the bedroom. And so my one bedroom that has my bed in it, I have two sets of flannel sheets, and I have 2 sets of just regular cotton sheets. And one is on the bed, and one is in the bottom drawer of my nightstand. It's always there. And what's nice is I have 2 sets of sheets, the flannel and the cotton, because when I change my sheets, I've got the sheets there. I've got sheets to put on. I've got sheets to wash. One set of sheets for the bed, that could be really minimalist, but that doesn't work for me. I want to have a set of clean sheets to put on the bed immediately to make it. And so that's what I did. So that book is actually, that's what I came away from that. Julie Morgenstern, I've had her books for, well, my son is 37, and I know I was reading her books when he was a freshman in high school. So I've had them. I've had them for over 20 years. And she has one called Organizing from the Inside Out, and she has another one called Time Management from the Inside Out. Spectacular book. I have used a lot of the things from her books, but the Organizing from the Inside Out, that was where I realized that you have to know how much of anything that you have. And so once you have it laid out and you find out that you have 5 hammers or any of your tools, you look at how many you have and you have to think to yourself, how many do I need? I don't need 5. Maybe I need 3. Get rid of 2. Screwdrivers, you can have flathead, you can have Phillips. How many do you need? You don't need a lot. And so it's just knowing what you have. That goes right into when you go to the grocery store and you've made a list. Well, know what's in your house already, so you're not buying something that you already have. I knew somebody, I had a cleaning business for, I don't know, a few years. I really liked it. I love to clean. And I had this cleaning business, and this one particular client would just have, I don't know how many jars of the same thing, and they'd all be open. And then you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, sometimes you go into the grocery store and you just have a certain number of things that you pick up every time you go in there. You don't need it, but it's just kind of on your radar. Oh, I always get that. I always get that. I always get that. But you don't need that. You already have it. So that kind of feeds into that. Julie also has Organizing from the Inside Out, and I love that book too. I love that book. I think I saw her on Oprah is where I first heard of her, and then I went and bought her books immediately. But in Organizing from the Inside Out, that was where I started doing the filing system of 1 through 5 years. I have one of those file boxes that has a handle on it so you can carry it around. I got it around here somewhere. But I've got each year, it's year 1, year 2, year 3, all the way to year 5. At the beginning of a new year, I take everything that's in that 5th year and I pitch it. But so then I move 4 to 5, 3 to 4, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, and then 1 is for everything for this year. So I put, at the end of the year, I put utility bills, insurance, my Edward Jones, all that stuff that I have my big filing cabinet over there for. I take everything out of there and put it into this file box with a handle on it. And then my filing cabinet is all new. Everything for this year goes in there. And that's how I keep track of everything. And then if something happened, let's let my income tax filing paperwork will be in there. So then, something happens and it's like, oh, I need my tax return for such and such year, that's where I go. I know typically they would say 7 years for taxes. Now, I know people, my boyfriend included, he probably has 40 years of tax returns. I say to him, why? You don't have to have all that many. I don't like paper. And the soonest I can get rid of it, I get rid of it. But I like having it to look at records. I look at my utility bill and I look at January last year and January this year. What did I pay? What did I pay? Now, I could get rid of those in those other years because really it's like, why do you keep some of those things? But, the credit card statements, all that stuff, I know where it is. The other thing that Julie said about organizing is having a file for your owner's manuals. So then in January every year, what I would do, excuse me, what I would do is take everything, all the things out of the owner manual file and go through. And okay, do I have any of those appliances anymore? And then you reorganize that to where you're not keeping the owner's manual from the blender that you don't have anymore. There's no reason to keep it. So that's the other thing that I learned from her book. I totally love that. Trying to think. I think that's pretty much all that I think I've done. Oh no, Marie Kondo. I watched her show. I got her book, The Art of Tidying Up. And I do, she is really not minimalism. She's not a minimalist. But she has a different take on it, and I really liked it. What you do with, say you start with your clothes. You pick up that piece of clothing, and does it spark joy? Keep what sparks joy. And I know from her book, she doesn't talk about, she's not a minimalist, because in her show she even had a woman who had 100 pairs of shoes. But if all of those shoes sparked joy in her, Marie Kondo had no problem with her keeping them. But they're well organized and they are worn. I couldn't imagine having 100 pairs of shoes. I would never be able to wear that many or like that many. That wouldn't work for me. But I started looking at all of my clothes. Do they spark joy? Do they not? And that's how I chose how to get rid of them. The other thing, she folds pretty much anything that can be folded. So I was folding my sweatshirts and my t-shirts and my workout clothes. And she has a system to where when it's folded, and once you get the hang of how she folds things, it goes really quick. The neat thing about folding, and I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like to fold, I happen to really like it, and I got better at it, and I think I liked it more because I got better at it. But when you are laying your clothes out and you're folding it, you're going to notice a tear or a rip, a stain. If there's something wrong with the particular item of clothing, you're going to see that when you're folding it. And so then okay, is this something that I wear when I mow the grass? I'm not wearing that out to go see people or whatever. You kind of get to categorize it that way. But I started doing that, and see, when you fold and everything kind of stands up, when you open that drawer, you can see what everything is. You know exactly what you're looking at, and then you can pick out what you want. I don't tend to just pick out whatever I want. I tend to rotate. So when I get done washing clothes, I scoot everything over to the left. I scoot everything over to the left, and I replace on the right side. So then the next time that I'm going in there, like it's cold today, but it's been really warm on other days, I'm looking and I'm like, if I'm going to my boyfriend's house, I'm looking and I look at the weather and I'm thinking, okay, I need a sweatshirt. Okay, I grab it from the left. I need some other shirt. I grab it from the left. Everything I'm grabbing from the left because everything that I've returned on the right, I just wore it. So, and then, but you also find if you're passing over something and it's like a month goes by and there's one particular sweatshirt in there that you're not wearing. Well, there's a reason that you're not wearing that. There's some reason you don't like it. You don't like the way it looks on you. You don't like the color. There's something. So basically, that's kind of what I did. And I take a three-prong approach. I look at it. Does it spark joy? Marie Kondo. I'm sorting. How many do I have of everything? What's the number that I'm going to put on that from Julie Morgenstern? And then the minimalism people, the minimalists that there's podcasts that I listen to every week. Then they're in there and helping me to realize that I don't want to have 100 shoes. I don't want to have 10 hammers. Maybe 5 will do. And so I kind of take from different different people and kind of put it all together and kind of put my own system together. So that's kind of what I've been doing that way. Speaking of clothes, I am not buying clothes for the year 2024. This is a challenge for me, literally and figuratively. I've never done this before. So far, so good. We are, spring is here. And so basically, this top right here is Worthington. I actually wore it to work today. I do like to explain why I bought something, kind of just explaining it's not just a piece of clothing to buy it. I have to like it before I buy it, and then I wear it and see if I still like it. I have to say when this one's hanging on the hanger, I tend to pass over it because I don't like the way that it looks when it's hanging. But when I put it on, I actually am like, oh yeah, now I remember why I bought it. But this is Worthington. The feel of this material is like no other material that I have in my closet. So I kind of like the feel of it. I don't know if you can tell, but it has gathers. Yeah, you can kind of tell that. There are gathers in the front. I like that. It is, I like the neckline. Uh, 3/4 sleeve. That's another required thing. Um, how long it is. It's not as long as some, but it's long enough. And I like the colors. I like the black and I like all the other colors. I like the fact that it's floral. I think it's pretty. And yeah, I wore it to work today and I like it. What I will do is I'll wear something to work. And after I have worn it all day, by the end of the day, I kind of know, do I like it? Do I not? As I get older, being in my 60s, I think that the other thing as far as clothes is I don't go for anything that's not comfortable. If I have to fuss with it or mess with it, I had a dress that I had bought for my niece's wedding, my niece Rebecca. Now, I really loved that dress and I got a lot of compliments on it. And sometimes I kind of wish I still had it. But I live by myself. And on the back of this dress, it had a very long zipper. So when I put it on, this wasn't something that went over my head. I put this dress on and then zipping it all the way up, I was having a heck of a time getting it zipped. I had a hard time getting it unzipped. I ended up donating that dress. as much as pretty as it was, I wasn't wearing it because it was really hard to get on and to take off. So you got to think about that. So there are things that when it comes to your clothes, uh, I ask myself a few questions. I ask myself, do I like the color? Do I like the length? Do I like the length of the sleeves? Do I feel good when I'm wearing it? There's just certain things that it has to hit most of those for me to keep it. And if it doesn't, I get rid of it. And so, being spring now, I am starting to go through my closet. And that's the thing, is if you've seen any of my other videos, I am wearing something different. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to wear the same thing twice. I am going to wear something different from my closet so you can see how many things that I have giving me the reason that I didn't need to buy any clothes. You're going to see how many clothes I have, and you're gonna understand. There was no need for me to go buy more clothes. I have plenty, and I'm going to be going through them and getting rid of some of them. So this is Worthington. I do like it. I think I'll keep it. So I guess that is all for now. I can't really think of anything else to say, which is kind of unusual for me. But I just am so enjoying doing this. If you like this video, hit like, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, I have a lot of different ideas and lots of ideas for videos, and I'm I'm so enjoying it. And so thank you so much for joining me today. And like I say every time, unless I forgot, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Till next time.